It is Sunday night. You just open your banking app in bed with the screen dimmed so your partner cannot see it. Same balance, different month. Tomorrow, you will sit in traffic on the way to a job that pays you just enough to stay and not enough to leave. And that quiet voice in your chest will ask the same thing it always asks. Is this really it? That voice is not weakness. It is a signal. You are caught in 5 invisible traps that are bleeding your wealth dry, and nobody ever taught you they existed. Tonight, I am showing you all 5 and how to kill every one of them. Wealth does not resist you because it is hard. It resists you because you are caught in 5 invisible traps that drain your money, your energy, and your years without you ever noticing. Those 5 traps are the Sunday night spiral, the podcast trap, the panic button, the side hustle graveyard, and the invisible ceiling. Each one has a system that destroys it. Install those 5 systems and wealth stops feeling like a wall you keep hitting and starts running like a machine you built once. The people pulling ahead of you right now are not smarter. They are not putting in longer hours. They escaped the traps you are still sitting inside. And every month, you stay trapped. The exit gets more expensive. And here is what no financial guru will say out loud. Hard work does not build wealth. Sounds like something a lazy person says from their couch. But be honest with yourself for 10 seconds. You work hard. Your body knows it. Your family knows it because they barely see you. And where has all that effort gotten you? The person earning $50,000 a year is exhausted by Friday. The person earning $500,000 is also exhausted by Friday. Same burnout, same tight shoulders, same Sunday dread. Wildly different bank accounts. Effort is not the variable. Architecture is. One person pushes a boulder uphill every morning. The other built a track and the boulder rolls itself. If that truth stings, good. That sting is the first crack in the programming keeping you exactly where you are. You clicked on this for a reason. Something in your gut knows your current approach is broken. You are right. 5 things are broken. And by the time we are done, you will see every single one for the first time. Let us start with the one that hits you every single week. Trap number 1, the Sunday night spiral. You already know this feeling. Sunday evening. The weekend is ending. You open your banking app or just do the math in your head, and your stomach drops. Not because you are broke, exactly, but because the number has not meaningfully changed. Again, you think about your age. You think about where you thought you would be by now. There is this gap between the life you imagined at 22 and the life you are actually living that nobody in your world talks about. So you make a quiet promise. This week, I will be different. I will save more. Finally, open that investment account. Monday, you are on fire. By Wednesday, the energy fades. By Friday, you are too drained to care. Sunday comes back around. Same promise, same failure, same sinking feeling in the dark. Here is why the spiral never breaks. You are trying to beat it with willpower, and willpower runs dry by mid-afternoon every single day. The version of you at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday cannot make smart financial moves. That version is cooked. The fix is not more discipline. The fix is an automation system that takes you out of the equation. Your paycheck lands and money moves before you see it. A fixed percentage to an investments, a fixed percentage to an opportunity fund, a fixed amount to bills. You never touch it. You never negotiate with yourself. The architecture decides. And here is what nobody tells you. Automation does not just move money. It kills the spiral. The Sunday night gut check disappears when the system handled everything before you open the app. The balance stops being a source of shame and starts being proof that something is working without you white-knuckling it. And speaking of building systems that work without you, if you are serious about installing this kind of architecture, not just hearing about it, I created something for people exactly in this position. The VYBO Wealth Blueprint breaks down the exact frameworks, systems, and psychology shifts that separate those who keep spiraling from those who actually build. It is the roadmap I wish someone had put in my hands years ago. The link is in the description if you are done with Sunday night promises that never stick. Now, trap number 2. Trap number 2, the podcast trap. This one is dangerous because it feels like progress. You listen to financial podcasts on your commute. You watch wealth videos at night after everyone goes to sleep. You have read more books about money in 2 years than your parents read in their lives. You understand compound interest. You can explain dollar cost averaging at a dinner party. You know everything, and you are still not where you want to be. That gap between what you know and what your bank account reflects is one of the loneliest feelings in the world, because you cannot even talk about it. You are supposed to have it figured out by now. But it gets worse. The more you consume, the more paralyzed you become. One expert says, go aggressive in growth stocks. The next says, hold cash. A third says, real estate. A fourth says, crypto, and everything else is dead. So you freeze. You listen to one more episode, hoping it will finally give you clarity. It never does. Because more information does not create clarity. A filter creates clarity. 3 questions before you act on any advice. Does this align with my specific wealth architecture? Is the person teaching this wealthy from doing what they teach? Can I implement this without destroying what I already have? If any answer is no, you discard it. No guilt. The financial content machine does not profit when you get rich. It profits when you stay confused enough to keep consuming. Your filter is how you stop feeding the machine and start feeding your future. But here is where it gets real. Trap number 3, the panic button. The market drops 8%. You are at your desk, pretending to focus, but every 15 minutes, you are checking your portfolio under the table. Red everywhere. That number you watched climb for months is evaporating in real time. You swore last time you would hold. But it is 11 p.m. and you cannot sleep, and your chest is tight and your thumb is hovering over the sell button. And you press it. You always press it. Then you watch the recovery happen from the sidelines. Again. And you cannot tell anyone because you are embarrassed. You panicked. Again. It is not because you are weak. It is because you have zero protocol for pressure. You are making the biggest financial decisions of your year with adrenaline running the controls. The system that kills the panic button is a decision protocol. You write your responses before the storm hits. Market drops 15%. I buy more. Period. Unexpected money lands. 60 to investments, 40 to opportunity fund. Non-negotiable. Someone pitches a can't-miss deal. I wait 72 hours and run it through my filter. No exceptions. You decide when you are calm on a Saturday morning. You execute when everyone around you is panicking. That gap between your calm self and your scared self is where most wealth gets destroyed. A protocol welds it shut permanently. The best strategy ever written is worthless the moment you panic. Protocols make sure you never get the chance to. 3 traps down. The Sunday night spiral, the podcast trap, the panic button, each one invisible, each one expensive, each one dead the moment you install the right system. But these next 2 run deeper than money. They run at the level of who you believe you are. And most financial content will never touch this because it is too close to the bone. Pay attention. This part could be worth more than everything we have covered so far. And if you want to go deeper than this video can take you, if you want the full blueprint with frameworks, templates, and a daily system you can actually install, that is inside the 1% by VYBO on School. The link is in the description. That is where operators go to build these systems with real accountability, not spectators, operators. Now trap number 4. Trap number 4, the side hustle graveyard. Be honest with yourself right now. How many half-started projects are sitting in your phone? That dropshipping store you researched for 3 weeks and never launched. The YouTube channel you planned but never recorded for. The freelancing profile you created and forgot about. The course in your downloads that you got through 2 modules of Before Life got in the way. You have a graveyard of abandoned ideas, and every single one of them felt like the one when you started it. You are not lazy. I need you to hear that. You are scattered. And scattered is the most expensive kind of busy there is, because wealth only compounds in one direction at a time. When you split your energy across 5 different ventures, none of them get enough fuel to catch fire. You end up with 5 pilot lights and 0 furnaces. And pilot lights do not heat anything. They just burn gas. The system that buries the graveyard is one brutal question. What is my one wealth vehicle for the next 12 months? Not 3, not 5. 1. The single vehicle with the highest upside for your specific situation right now. Then you pour everything into it. Every dollar, every hour, every ounce of creative energy you have been scattering across dead ends. You diversify after it reaches escape velocity, not before. Most people diversify early because they are scared and they call it strategy. But 12 accounts with nothing meaningful in any of them is not a portfolio. It is a mess you organized into folders. Concentration creates wealth. Diversification protects it. You cannot protect what you never built. This last trap is the one that changes everything. Trap number 5. The invisible ceiling. There is a number you keep hitting. Different job, different year, different strategy, same ceiling. You push past it for a month, maybe 2. Then something pulls you back. You overspend right when savings hit a new high. You sabotage a deal that was about to change everything. You procrastinate on the one decision that would break it open. And there is this sick pattern where every time you get close to the next level, something manufactures a reason to retreat. It does not feel like self-sabotage. It feels like bad luck, like bad timing, like life getting in the way again. It is not bad luck. It is your thermostat. You have an internal setting for how much wealth feels normal to you. It was installed by your upbringing, by the neighborhood you grew up in, by the dinner table conversations you overheard as a kid. We cannot afford that. Money does not grow on trees. People like us do not do things like that. Those were not just sentences. They were lines of code, and they are still running your operating system decades later. When your results push above what your thermostat says is normal, your subconscious drags you back. It creates friction you cannot see. And you keep landing at the same number wondering what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Your programming is wrong. So how do you reset it? Not affirmations in a mirror, not vision boards on your wall. You change the inputs. You put yourself in rooms where your target income is the floor, not the ceiling. You stop asking advice from people who have never been where you are going. You consume content from people operating at your next level. And every single day you make one decision that the future version of you would make, even when it feels wrong, especially when it feels wrong. Because that discomfort is not a warning. It is the thermostat recalibrating. The people who run from that discomfort stay at the same ceiling forever. Your identity is not who you think you are. It is who your daily actions prove you to be. And right now, what are they proving? 5 traps, 5 kills. The Sunday night spiral dies with automation. The podcast trap dies with a filter. The panic button dies with protocols. The side hustle graveyard dies with focus. The invisible ceiling dies when you reset the thermostat. Wealth was never the hard part. The traps were. Now you see every single one. Stop grinding harder inside the same walls and start building the systems that tear them down. The architecture does not care about your motivation. It only cares about your decisions. Build it once. Let it compound forever. But none of these systems hold if the identity running them still belongs to who you used to be. Watch this video next to uninstall that version permanently.